And specifically, yeah, do essential oils smell good? Of course, depending on what they are and depending on how they're blended. But knowing that there's science and evidence and research around these oils, I had no idea. And if you go online and you do a search and you can find growing information, for example, PubMed, if you type in aromatherapy, these are peer-reviewed journals that people are doing these studies in hospitals. So many hospitals are incorporating aromatherapy now for reduction in nausea, to help people sleep, to help with pain relief. There's just a lot of different ways, and a lot of the medications that we have in Western medicine and pharmaceuticals were derived from plants. Digitalis, is from foxglove. So the idea of bringing that in and incorporating that into our daily lives is wonderful. For me, it's been second to none. I've been using essential oils since 1999 when I went to massage school, and have found them just evolving within me. And the most important piece for me has been, of course, I'm interested in the heart and the integration of well-being in different dimensions: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, energetic. The idea that oils, essential oils, when they're therapeutic grade essential oils, can actually go into the brainstem, go into the amygdala, into those emotional centers that store all of our significant emotions like anger and fear and worry and guilt, all that stuff, depression, you name it. We all have a favorite, right? We're all really good at certain ones. These oils can actually go in, and as they diffuse into the brain, they can alter the mood. They can change the structure. They can change the biochemistry, and they change your neural pathways over time. I discovered Aroma Freedom Technique in probably 2017. I got certified. And prior to that, I had been using essential oils since 1999 when I went through massage school, and loved them. There were certain ones that I really liked, some not so much. But there's so many different ones that and they have so many therapeutic effects. And again, the science is now supporting the benefits of these different oils and how they can support us. So when I discovered Aroma Freedom Technique, I loved that it was discovered or created by a psychologist, and using specifically Young Living essential oils, which are the only oils that I use in my practice. There are a lot of great oils out there. I've chosen to use Young Living because I have seen the benefits in myself, in my own life, and in the people that I serve, as well as working with a biophysicist who can measure and validate the impact of specific oils on the body. Again, I love the science piece. And so Aroma Freedom Technique is a program. It's several steps that you can look online. You can take a look and see what these sessions are like. Anybody can do them, but I went ahead and got the certification because I really wanted to do the case studies, and I wanted to see the impact and the changes. And so it's going through discovering what is that issue for you. For me, I was really struggling with public speaking. And so that's part of what I do is I do presentations, I do workshops, and to a certain level of maybe 60 people, I was comfortable. But if I saw that there were over 60 people, I kind of freaked out a little bit, like, oh, that's, 60 people, that's 120 eyeballs looking at me. That's a lot. But when I went up to 100 people in the audience, it's like, oh, it was a whole nother level of freak out for me. And I'm not a public speaker. I'm actually quite an introvert. So I've learned all these tools to manage that anxiety and that stress of, oh my gosh. So that was one of the things that I chose for my own case study, is to be confident and successful as a public speaker at audiences of any level of participants, regardless of the number of participants. So I went through that and used several rounds of this. As you discover a little bit more, it's a beautifully facilitated process, but you can also do it on yourself. There is a book. You can go on Amazon and buy Aroma Freedom Technique, get the oils, and you can do it for yourself. What I find is the first time or two, it's nice to have a facilitator who, again, can hold the space for you. And I do these on Zoom all the time, much more frequently than in person, because I have clients all over the world. And so we do a Zoom session. I send them some oils prior to, and then we go ahead and do the Zoom session. They then have those oils to do future sessions for themselves. But the cool part is you're not getting through, you're not considering like, why can't I figure this out? So again, back to my example, why am I so worried about this? This is ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. But somewhere in my mind, I had this story of, this equals fear. Well, I wanted to bust through that. And for so long, I just couldn't on my own. When I added the oils, what the oils do is we have that thought, we bring it into our mind, we inquire, what's the feeling? Where am I feeling it? And then we breathe in these oils, specifically blended oils. And what that does is that interrupts that thought process. It goes into the emotional file. Let's say our brain has a file with all these different emotions. It gets into that file. And before you know it, that significance or that intensity of that fear or the anxiety dissolves. And you may need to do round after round after round of doing these oils and doing these steps. But the cool part is, at the end of just one session, I could breathe. And it's like, whoa, it doesn't, like, I think about it now and it's not the same. It's not as intense. And so just in one session, I started to notice that, well, I will tell you, I can now speak in front of people and I'm not as nervous. Is there still some anxiety? Of course, it's human beings. And so we're going to have that, but it's not so debilitating. Whether it's big or whether it's little, it doesn't matter. So oftentimes some of these memories come up as we're doing this program and we're doing this process with folks, and they say, I just remembered something that I haven't thought about in years. And it's not that big of a deal. This shouldn't bother me. But it's at the core. It's at the root. And what we're doing with this process is we're getting to the root of that.